Well, hello everybody. I am Dean the Turkey Legster. Happy weekend, happy Saturday night. Hope you are doing well. Um, Welcome to the stream. This is Storyland, and I don't normally stream on Saturday, but this is rescheduled from Thursday, and so I wanted you to be able to have stories um, this week because I just brought stories back to the channel. I didn't want um, there to not be stories this week, so I did go live. I am going live tonight on Saturday. I know there are other YouTube channels that are live, but here we are. I'm still going to go ahead with it. If you're catching this on the replay, make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know that you were watching. And I will be live on my normal night, my normally scheduled night for Storyland will be back on Thursday next week. So just so you know, and in addition to Tuesday, uh, oh, okay, sorry about that. Sorry. Am I better now? Hello, everybody. So let me just take it from the top. Welcome in. I'm Dean the Turkey Legster. Happy weekend. I'm not normally live on Saturday. This was rescheduled from Thursday. This coming week, I will be live again. Storyland will be on Thursday as is normal, coming up the coming week. If you're watching this on the replay, leave me a comment and let me know. And also bop the like button. If you happen to be watching this and you are not subscribed to the channel, I invite you to subscribe. Totally free. And I am climbing, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Um, so yeah. Let me say hello to friends in the live chat. And again, you can join the live chat on Thursdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Unless the stream is rescheduled. Um, Gloria Thibodeau, welcome in. Tina McNeil, hello, welcome in. And hello to Chuck as well. Um, no, Tina, your hearing was not gone for a second. My mind is kind of lost, I guess. Brian Eisenhart, welcome in. Hope you are all having a great weekend. I will get going with the story in just a minute. Um, um, so rescheduled from Thursday. Um, it was September 11th. Lot, going on in my mind, in my heart and mind, on Thursday. So I was not up to reading um, stories related to September 11th, but also the passing, the taking of Charlie Kirk's life on Wednesday. Um, just huge. And I did a stream on Thursday. That's why the American flag backdrop is up. So if you want to go out and check that out, if you haven't watched that. But anyway, I looking forward to reading tonight, reading some stories, and anyway, so I was kind of been thinking about, okay, what do I read? So there's a lot of IPs that I really haven't read the stories for here on the channel. And so I was looking at which ones I have not. And I'm going to be, over the next few weeks, I am going to be kind of giving those some attention that I have not read yet on the channel at all. I'm gonna review my stream history and see which ones I have that I would like to read here on the channel and over the next couple of months outside of the holiday themed stories. I am going to have at least 1 week of one Thursday of Halloween stories, couple of stories, um, probably the Thursday before Halloween, whatever date that is. Oh, it's actually the night before on the 30th. And Also, Thanksgiving night, this is way early, I know, but Thanksgiving night, with it being on the Thursday, I'm definitely still going to be live on Thanksgiving night. So just make a mental note of that after you're done with Thanksgiving dinner and whatever gatherings. I will be live Thanksgiving night, but you don't have to remember that right now. I'm going to remind you as we get closer. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in. Hello. Monarch Miracles, hello. Welcome in. All right, guys, without further ado, we're going to go ahead with the stories because that's what we're here for here on Storyland. So I picked for tonight an IP that this classic Disney film, it's a newer classic. I think it's old enough. It celebrated its 30th anniversary. I think it's probably old enough to be called a new classic. Um, this is Disney's Pocahontas. And this is a new book for me. I just got this over the summer and so excited to be reading this. Never read before on the channel. We have not heard from Pocahontas. So here we go. Pocahontas. There, look at that. That's a nice, look at that. I know it's a cartoon, but it's like that orangey sky. At the London docks, a ship called the Susan Constant was about to sail for America, the New World. The sailors said goodbye to their wives, but John Smith did not say goodbye to anyone. He lived only for adventure. Their leader, Governor Ratcliffe, arrived with his pampered dog named Percy. The greedy Ratcliffe was going to America to find gold. Soon they were all sailing across the sea. John Smith became friends with Thomas, a young man who wanted to settle in America. Thomas had never been to sea before. Thomas learned that crossing the ocean was very dangerous. During a terrible storm, he was swept overboard. "Help!" cried Thomas. "Save me!" John Smith quickly jumped into the crashing waves to save his friend. Soon they were both safely back on board the ship. "That was refreshing," Smith joked. The brave men sailed on to the New World. But America was not a new world to the peaceful people already living there. One tribe was led by Chief Powhatan. He had a beautiful daughter named Pocahontas. Pocahontas loved to have fun. She also loved exploring the river with her animal friends. Meeko, a raccoon, was even more mischievous than his human friend. A hummingbird named Flit tried to keep them both out of trouble. One day, Pocahontas went to the enchanted glade to talk to Grandmother Willow. The magical tree was very wise. Pocahontas told Grandmother Willow her problem. My father wants me to marry Kocoum, but Kocoum is such a serious warrior. What should I do? You must follow your own path, Grandmother Willow advised. But how will I know my path? Pocahontas asked. The wise tree answered, You must listen with your heart. So Pocahontas listened. She listened. She listened very hard. Then she heard two words. What? Oh, then she heard two words. Strange clouds. Pocahontas climbed to the top of Grandmother Willow. There were strange clouds. I guess this went with the other page. Hi, Dave. Welcome in. Dave's Disney Dreams. Welcome in. And here's this one. The clouds were the white sails of a big ship. Pocahontas ran to the river. She saw four pale men in a smaller boat. The men were rowing toward the shore. Pocahontas had never seen men like these before, and the sailors had never seen such a beautiful place before. John Smith couldn't wait to explore this beautiful new land. Smith jumped out of the boat. Thomas and two settlers named Ben and Lon just tied the boat to a rock. Smith climbed a nearby tree. Pocahontas watched him. She had never seen yellow hair before. Pocahontas thought the stranger looked friendly, but she wasn't sure, so she stayed hidden. But Meeko thought the stranger might have food. He walked right up to John Smith. Smith had never seen a raccoon before. You're a strange-looking fellow, he told Meeko. Smith reached into his bag. Would you like a biscuit? Meeko liked the biscuit very much. Back in the village, the rest of the tribe had already learned about the stranger's arrival. Kakata, Kakata, the medicine man, said the strange men were beasts, very different from the Powhatan people. Chief Powhatan sent some warriors to watch the strangers. He told the rest of his people to stay away from them. "Let's hope the strangers do not intend to stay," he added. Powhatan didn't know that Pocahontas and Meeko were still following John Smith. Pocahontas was curious, and Meeko wanted more biscuits. John Smith had never seen such a wonderful land. America was wild and free. He stopped at a beautiful waterfall. Suddenly, Smith heard something close by. He looked around. Pocahontas hid behind the waterfall. Smith could see a figure beyond the water. He aimed his gun, ready to shoot. Pocahontas couldn't see Smith any longer. She stepped out into the open. Smith was surprised. He had expected to see a fierce warrior. Instead, he saw a beautiful girl. Pocahontas and Smith stared into each other's eyes. Meanwhile, Kocoum and the other warriors were watching the settlers. The settlers had started building a fort, and they were already digging for gold. The men cut down trees and tore up the earth. "Dig faster!" greedy Governor Ratcliffe ordered. When the settlers noticed the warriors, they shot at them. One of the braves was injured. Kocoum brought the injured brave back to the village. Then he told Chief Powhatan what had happened. "The strangers must be stopped," Powhatan declared. He sent a messenger to the other tribes. "We will fight the strangers together." Pocahontas and John Smith were no longer strangers. Smith showed Pocahontas how to shake hands. Pocahontas remembered Grandmother Willow's words, "Listen with your heart." So Pocahontas listened. Their hands touched. Suddenly, Pocahontas could understand John Smith's words, and he could understand hers. Smith told Pocahontas about London. "It has trees filled with carriages, it has streets filled with carriages and buildings as tall as trees." Pocahontas said, "I would like to see those things." Smith smiled. "You will. We're going to build them here." He thought Pocahontas would be pleased. But Pocahontas was angry. Pocahontas liked the way she lived. The earth is not a dead thing you can own. We are all part of nature, she told him. As Pocahontas spoke, Smith began to see the world through her eyes, and it was the most beautiful world he had ever seen. Smith returned to the fort, but he wanted to see Pocahontas again. So the next day he found Pocahontas in a cornfield outside her village. Pocahontas brought him to the enchanted glade. What a beautiful place, John sighed. To think we came all this way just for gold. Pocahontas asked, "What is gold?" Smith showed her some gold coins. Pocahontas shook her head. "There is nothing like that here." She showed Smith an ear of corn. "This is the only gold here, but it tastes good," she said, and Smith had to agree. Then Smith heard a voice say, "Hello, John Smith. Come closer." He looked up. The tree was talking to him. Pocahontas introduced him to Grandmother Willow. "He has a good soul, and he's handsome, too," the wise tree told Pocahontas. Smith grinned. "I like her," he said to Pocahontas. Suddenly, Smith heard Ben and Lon calling him. He was afraid his friends might hurt Pocahontas. "We can't let them see us," he whispered to Pocahontas. They hid behind the big tree. As the men approached, Grandmother Willow used her roots to trip Ben and Lon. "That tree moved!" Ben shouted. They were so scared they ran away. Pocahontas and Smith agreed to meet that night. Then they both hurried home. When Pocahontas reached her village, she saw warriors from many other tribes. They were all ready for war. Pocahontas said, "Father, we do not have to fight. There must be a better path." But Chief Powhatan saw no other way to save the land. John Smith tried to stop the war too. Governor Radcliffe would not listen. "The Indians have our gold, and I'm going to get it." "But there is no gold," Smith cried. Radcliffe did not believe him. He decided to attack the Indians and seize their gold. That night, Smith met Pocahontas. They knew that somehow they had to stop the war. They kissed. Suddenly, Kocoum came running out of the woods. He thought the stranger would hurt Pocahontas. Pocahontas cried, "Kocoum, no!" Then someone else came out of the woods. Thomas had followed Smith. He was afraid Kocoum would hurt Smith. Thomas raised his gun and fired. "Thomas, don't!" Smith shouted, but it was too late. Kocoum was dead. Other warriors heard the shot. "Run, Thomas, run!" Smith shouted. Thomas escaped, but the angry warriors captured Smith. They dragged him to the village. Kocoum's body was brought back to the village. Everyone in the tribe was very angry. Chief Powhatan said, "At sunrise this stranger will die." Pocahontas went to John Smith. "I am so sorry. This would have never this never would have happened if we had not met," she said. "I would rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you," Smith said softly. Pocahontas knew she had to save him, but how? At dawn, the warriors took Smith to a tall cliff. Radcliffe and the settlers were there too. Both sides were ready for war. Chief Powhatan raised his war club. Then Pocahontas ran up. She threw herself between her father and John Smith. "If you kill him, you will have to kill me too. I love him, father," Pocahontas cried. Chief Powhatan was surprised. "Look around you, po look around you," Pocahontas said. "This is where the path of hatred leads." Chief Powhatan put down his club. "My daughter speaks with wisdom. She comes here with courage and understanding," he said. Powhatan told his braves to let Smith go. The braves and settlers lowered their weapons. But Radcliffe wanted his gold and his war. "Now is our chance. Shoot!" he ordered. But the settlers wouldn't shoot. So Radcliffe grabbed a gun and fired at Chief Powhatan. John Smith saw what was happening. He jumped between the bullet and the chief. The bullet hit Smith in the stomach. Pocahontas cradled the wounded man in her arms. "You shot him," Thomas shouted at Radcliffe. "It's his own fault," Radcliffe sputtered, but the settlers knew Radcliffe was wrong. The settlers tied up Radcliffe and sent him back to England. Smith was carried back to the ship. He felt no pain. All he felt was love for Pocahontas and her wild, free land. Smith looked into Pocahontas's eyes. "Come with me?" he asked. Pocahontas wanted to go with Smith, but she had to stay. She had found her path. Pocahontas would keep peace between the settlers and her tribe. Smith wanted to stay, but he had to go back. The doctors in England could heal his wound. Pocahontas wished she and Smith could stay together, but she knew it did not matter where they lived. They would always be together in their hearts. And so that is the end of Disney's Pocahontas. Hope you enjoyed that story. It was a good story. Glad I read it. Um, yeah, hope you enjoyed the story. And normally I read two stories on this show, but I've decided to leave it at one story tonight and go ahead and end it here. Next week I will be back. Storyland will be back on Thursday, and I will have two stories for you that on Thursday. And also join me Tuesday night um, for Let's Talk Turkey, and both streams are at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I look forward to having you in the chat, and we can talk about stuff. So with that, guys, have a gobbletastic night. Thank you for watching. Again, if you're on the replay, leave me a comment and let me know that you were here, and say hello. Pop the like if you haven't. And everyone in the live chat, thank you for being here. Do appreciate it. And so with that, have a great rest of your evening and have a great gobbletastic rest of your weekend. So bye everybody.